Hey, hi, welcome, or welcome back. So, we did it. This is the 50th video in 50 days that I'm posting on my channel, and I'm excited to reflect with you. If you're new, then just know that I'm finishing up a project in which I filmed and edited and posted 50 videos in 50 days, and I want to reflect with you about it. So I'm excited to get into the nitty gritty. This might be perhaps useful for other YouTubers, viewers. I hope this is interesting, and maybe even new booktubers. I think that might be helpful. So yeah, maybe subscribe if you're not to, but regardless, let's just go ahead and get into the meat of this video. 50 days ago, I posted a video with not a lot of forethought or planning that I wanted to post. I wanted to create and post 50 videos in 50 days. And I just decided to go for the project. Finally, I didn't discuss this with anybody. So you all, me posting the video of the announcement of the project, you all were the first to know. Partly because I didn't want anyone in my real life, maybe more grounded and reasonable people, to talk me out of this crazy idea. And I just wanted to go for it. And so I just decided to keep it to myself, to hold it close to my chest, to make it the announcement video, and to actually start. And it wasn't until video 4 or 5 or 6 that I finally just decided to tell Ted, my husband. He doesn't know really what's going on with the channel. He'll ask about it, and I think he'll check in every once in a while, but he sees me every day, so he's not necessarily interested in like this internet thing that I do. And so I finally told him, and of course he was like, that's a lot. And I was like, I know, but I really want to do it. And from there he was supportive. Not that he wouldn't have been, but I think that if I had discussed the idea beforehand, he might have asked me reasonable questions that would have got me critically thinking about what I was doing. And I might have like lessened the stipulations of the project a little bit. Like I would have backed off on the project ever so slightly. Perhaps. I don't know, because that's not how the route went. But just know that you all were the first to know about this 50 videos in 50 days. So right away, I made a bunch of videos that I was excited to make, that were really easy. And I really leaned into anything that I could talk extemporaneously about, and be very spontaneous about it. I was looking for like quick videos that had been sitting in my mind for a long time that I was excited to make, and I just went for it. So I'm pretty sure I did a review of Infinite Jest. I had been meaning to post a video about that for months, and so it's like I finally did that. I did a bunch of videos about mammoths. I was just, I don't know, like anything that came to mind, I did. Now, it's interesting because I feel like in some ways I have two sides to my channel. I have the chatty, relaxed, extemporaneous Shelly, and then I have like a more polished version of myself where I will research an article, talk about a list, I'll have like a lot more planning, a lot more notes, and so sometimes I think that I really lean into the structured part of my channel, like this more polished version. And with this project of having to produce so many videos in a really short amount of time, I didn't have the opportunity to be polished. And I think it's exactly what I needed, because a little while ago, I think I was in some ways struggling to be extemporaneous because I was so living in the camp of being polished. It's like if I'm always kind of coming to the camera, coming to you all with like notes, and I'm structured and I know what I want to say and I've really thought about it. And so in some ways you can kind of click into that mode. And so then sitting down and just talking off the cuff can actually kind of feel a little rusty, even if you continue to make videos. At least that's the case for me. So I got to get back in touch with my very spontaneous, extemporaneously speaking side of myself where I come to you with no notes, just an idea and a stack of books, and I talk to you all. And what was interesting is that as I was making videos, more video ideas would occur, and if they sounded good, I just jumped into it. I was like, oh, I want to do that. And I would just like turn on the camera, not a lot of forethought or planning, and I would sit down and I would just chat. And I really, really like that. It's a really nice, it's like, I have a toolbox of the kinds of videos I like to make and kind of energy level that I can bring. And it's nice to get back in touch with this kind of tool that is really easy to use when you've been using it for a while, like when it's not rusty, to bring out the tool of just like coming to you in a very sort of raw, natural, chit-chatty state, and that's okay. Instead of like letting that side of me rust and sort of fatigue in a way. My metaphors are not mixing. It's almost like a muscle that I haven't used, and so because I've been making like really polished, heavily notated videos, so it's nice to really get back in touch with that. That was the point. And then what's also interesting is that I got to be really experimental. And that was really, really fun. So I did like matching my outfits to the books that I love. I did several vlogs, which were really fun and I don't do very often. I really got to experiment. And then what's funny is that when I post 2 videos a week, if I make a video that doesn't get a lot of views for my channel, I can be like, oh man, like, I don't know, not a lot of the community came out and like hung out with me, and that's kind of disappointing. And so then it can feel almost like a little bit of a letdown that a video didn't do great. But here's the thing, when I was posting so many videos, it's like something wouldn't do well. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. There's another video going up in 24 hours. And so it's just like, and the cycle just had to keep going. And so in a lot of ways, analytics have mattered so little to me in this whole project. Usually I keep track. I'm like, oh, okay, like this is doing pretty well, or whatnot. And it's funny because when I make 2 videos a week, I have to sit with like a video that's either doing really well or doing really poorly, or somewhere in the middle. I have to like sit with that video for longer before, I have to sit in its performance for longer, I guess, in a weird way. And so then it's like, I don't know, I didn't realize like how much just posting videos, you just get really detached to the analytics, I guess. And it's not like I'm in there like obsessive and like wanting, I have a pretty decent relationship with my analytics. Like it doesn't deter me from doing what I want to do. But posting 50 videos in 50 days, I was like, I could post anything because it doesn't really matter because I'm going to post a video the next day. So even if like 10 people saw it, which for me would be like kind of not that many people, then it really doesn't matter because tomorrow I'm going to post something else and we'll see how that goes. Like it was just, the analytics mattered so little to me as the project went on. Like, it's like I didn't have time to be in the back end of my YouTube channel seeing how things went because I was so focused on filming videos, editing the thumbnail, and like getting everything up. It's like I didn't have time for that. So I thought that was a really interesting change. So if you're somebody who's like crazy obsessed with analytics, actually, I don't know, because I wasn't crazy obsessed. If you're somebody who just needs maybe a healthier relationship with analytics, like just post a bunch of videos and just watch the nature of one's relationship with analytics change dramatically. So yeah, so like the back end, I was just like, whatever. So that was interesting. Since we're talking about video performance, I'll go there next. One of the highest viewed videos on my channel is a video I made for this project, and it was 3 classic mammoths that I thought were worth the page count, that ended up being a small theme in this 50 videos in 50 days. I talked a lot about mammoths. And I think that I had them on my mind for a long time. It was really reflective of what I was thinking about for a long period of time. And I feel like I got a lot of it out of my system, which is really nice. And I ended up making like 4 or 5 or 6 videos about mammoths. So we ended up getting a mammoth conversation started on YouTube. And that was really great. And one of the videos that ended up doing quite well was 3 classic mammoths that are worth the page count. I think it was something like that. And it ended up doing just great. And that was really cool. However, and this goes for both a video that is performing well and when I am posting more videos, you get more odd, weird, like hate comments. I don't know. I just got more. There was like a little span of days. When your channel when a video starts to do well and starts to reach an audience that doesn't know you. So when a video of mine does really well and is reaching an audience that doesn't know me, the reaction tends to be I think less gracious, and people just will just spew off stuff. So at one point, I remember telling Ted, I'm getting more like hate comments, but I was like, it's just by the nature that I'm posting like way more than I usually am, and more eyes are on my channel than normal. And so that was kind of an odd experience. But of course, I got a bunch of like great and wonderful comments. I just noticed like the uptick of just odd, weird comments. My lowest performing video was the single book review on Prep by Curtis Sittenfeld. And that video is really interesting because I think, so it was posted on like, I don't know, maybe like the late teens, early 20s. It might have been the 20s, like in the 20s, right? Like video 20 something. And well, first of all, single book reviews get a myriad of different reactions. Sometimes they can do extremely well. What's always great about a single book review is that anybody who leaves you a comment is either genuinely interested in reading the book or has read it and is willing to engage with you on that book. And so it's just deeply rich with advice and commentary, and that it's just great. So I'm never mad about posting a single book review, but it's very polarizing. Sometimes it can do extremely well, and sometimes it can do very poorly, and people have varying opinions about the book, and sometimes it's just a really interesting experience, single book reviews. So I posted that, and I think it's just like Prep itself is not a very popular book from a known author, but not necessarily a super popular author. And so it didn't perform very well, but the comments were amazing. And the comments were amazing. The comments I got were great. But what was interesting is that I had sat down to talk about Prep, and I actually did a video in which I just talked extemporaneously about the book, and I felt like it was really jumbled and weird. I don't know. I just was feeling like this is the time in which extemporaneously talking and just off the cuff talking about a book it doesn't feel like it's serving me well. And I realized that because of producing so many videos in such a short period of time, that I almost always had to talk very extemporaneously, and I really didn't have time to plan. And I was starting to really miss planned videos. And that trend kind of continued, but I was really missing like researching a video or gathering different pieces and doing a book beat, or I was just missing like the structured videos that I have come to often make on my channel. Even though I had, again, built that muscle of just off the cuff talking, and that was really good, I started to really miss the other side of me that is often exercised on this channel. So I ended up scripting the Prep book review and went off a script, and I thought it was fine, and it in some ways satiated that desire to have more structure in my videos. So that was kind of a weird turning point. It was like very clear to me that I wanted the time to script, film, and then like heavily edit a video, and yet I really couldn't because I was making videos so quickly that I didn't have the time to do that. So having said that, that's kind of been a downfall of this project, that I like to bring weird, odd, listy videos to you all, or I like to dive into a single year, like what books have I read from 2013, and what books were really good, and what were top sellers back then. And I feel like with this particular project, it didn't really give me a lot of space to do that, because those videos just take way more time, both to prep, to film, and to edit. And so I tended to back away from anything like that. And I like doing those kinds of videos, and I really missed it. I mean, I did a couple. I did a handful of videos like that, but I try to keep them very succinct, very short, very to the point. Like I covered historical fiction, new releases from the New York Times, from a columnist named Alita Becker, but she has 4 books. And so I was like, I can do 4 books, because that will be like a 15-minute video. It'll be really succinct. And I don't have to edit in like tons and tons of covers and source a bunch of images and all of that. So I thought that was really interesting that I missed that side of my channel. So what else was I going to say? Oh, so I had, most of this project was done during summer. Actually, it's been kind of half and half. Actually, it really has been kind of half and half. So I would say like a little more than half of the videos were filmed during summertime, where I had a lot of time to do this. And I also had a lot of mental space. I enjoy watching YouTube and then like getting really excited and doing a video response to, one of you lovely people. I was just like, my mind and my creativity was fully, open to what I wanted to do, because I didn't have work and I was at home most of the days, and I was hanging out with my kids. And so it's like I had just a ton of energy to give to this project. So while I had the energy, I also had the foresight to film ahead and to film for like, I don't know, I think it was like 8 or 9 videos ahead while my parents were here, as they helped us out as I transitioned back into the working world. So there's always like a week here in the US where teachers go back to work, but students don't go back yet. And as a parent and a teacher, I needed somebody to be with my kiddos while I went back to work and did teachery things. And so my parents stayed. And so I didn't make videos during that time period at all. And I had made videos to cover that time period, thinking that when they left, I would very kind of click back into filming mode and be able to like get the videos out and we would be fine. And I think in theory that would have worked. I knew I was going to be tired, but I didn't plan on, though I had thought about it, I didn't plan on being sick. So within the first week of going back to work, I had the norovirus, or the stomach bug, and it was awful. And so that really depleted my energy. And then my household was sick. And so that was kind of its own thing. Then after we got back to school, I also got a cold. And so it wasn't this weekend, but it's the past weekend where I had energy for a video, but since I was doing the 50 videos in 50 days, I was like, today I have to film 2 videos. Like I must show up not only for this project, but for myself. I don't want to like fail the project, whatever that means. I'm devoted to it. And so I want to do it. And so it just meant that like pushing myself while I was sick, and also having like a couple of really bad nights sleep and transitioning into a new workplace. And so really the last, I don't know, not fully, it's like, it kind of goes up and down, but like the last 10 videos have been like a force of will to make. Not that I don't want to be here, but like if I was a different person or less committed, I would have just been like, I'm sick, I don't feel good, I'm gonna rest. But instead I'm like, no, I'm gonna do the project. And so that was interesting. So it was like, I would be teaching at school all day and then come back and film a video. So it's just, And also, like, it's not even just the time, but it's also the mental capacity. I'm like sitting down and I'm like, how do I make a video again? Because all of my mind has been on teaching and getting to know our new building, getting to know new staff members, getting to know the kids, like trying to figure out how the library works, being in seminars and learning and growing in this other way. So when I would sit down to, film a video, I would just be utterly shattered in some ways. And then, but really I got it together, and I was glad to show up. And I was always glad to have made videos, like to be with you all and have made videos. And so it was just about like creating that space. Even though it felt like the space wasn't there to be created, like creating the space in in which I think about what I want to say to you all and then delivering what I want to say. And so, it all ended up working out. And now I'm like, people have asked, like, what do I think about the project? And, will I miss it? And, things like that. So it's a yes and no. In some ways, I will really miss showing up every day with you all because it's been so fun and just, oh my gosh, like what a riotous time it's been. I mean, really, really fun, really, really enjoyable. And unfortunately, since I have started back at work and 40 or more hours are now like being taken up by my workplace, I have less time to do a bunch of things. I have less time to work out. I have less time to be with my kids. I have less time to draw, to read. And so I feel like the last couple of weeks, all of my other hobbies have been sacrificed on the altar of this project. And it's been imbalanced. And I have gotten through because I know that it won't be like this forever, but it also means that it's not sustainable because I love to draw. I love to read. Like, I have read so few books this past month. And part of it is that I'm spending just a ton of time like making sure I show up because I said I would. And that's really important to me. And it's worth it because I wanted to do this project. However, sustainably, I'm like, I don't know if I could continue to run a book channel if I wasn't reading, So will I miss it? In some ways I will, because like doing this and like hanging out with you and just being my full and natural self, joyful self has been so fun. But I think I'm really ready for things to go back to how they were, like 3 videos a week. I don't know, but I also have learned that it's so easy to film. It is so easy to film. Sometimes just sitting down and filming and just chatting, not having notes. It's just so easy. Like, it doesn't have to be hard. I mean, truly and honestly. So I feel like this whole project has taught me just how easy it can be just to show up and to be here with you all. And that doing it in this way is a little bit much when I'm a full-time like teacher librarian. And so it's been so great. And for those of you who have been here for a single video, for all the videos and anywhere in between, I so appreciate you. And I'm just really excited to get back in touch with the other artistic endeavors that I do. But I'm hoping to not forget the lessons that I've learned, just how easy it can be to show up and hang out with you all, how wonderful it is to be with you in like just a ton, like how great that is, and how joyful that is, and like just having lots of conversations and being with each other, getting excited about books with each other, and then also just getting back in touch with other sides of my like video making, more structured videos, things that take a little more planning and editing, and knowing that like I really enjoy that, and doing this project has showed me that I really enjoy that. And also just getting back in touch with like kind of a more balanced schedule. I think that's really what it is. I really am looking forward to a more balanced schedule. And so I don't know. I guess that was me rambling. Oh, would I do it again? Yes, I would definitely do it again. I think that I would do it differently. I think I would do it perhaps over summer, where if I had, more early on so that the whole 50 days would be within the time I'm not working, or maybe it'll bleed a little bit into the school year, but nothing in the way that I've done it now, where like half the project was Summer Shelley and then half the project was non-Summer Shelley. I would want it all to pretty much be Summer Shelley, or the vast majority to be Summer Shelley, because I don't know, there was something really wonderful about that. And it was really sort of going hard in one direction in my creativity that I really enjoy. And so yeah, that's it. So let me know, like, what did you think of the project? Oh my gosh, what did you think of the project? Would you ever do it if you're a video creator? Have you done something like this, even if it's not YouTube related? Have you showed it for yourself and others in like a really awesome and intense way? I would love to know. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. And I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye.